and the ancestors are looking out for us. God haze is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young.
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young.
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown lesson.
Young TV.
Miss Locust. Is it Michael or Michelle? I didn't even look. Laverne Locust. Laverne Locust. I didn't call the wrong name. I must be talking to Angel or something. Yeah, don't let the smooth taste fool you, though. Okay, so that one ain't working. Let me see if we even went through first. Yeah. Overcame them. That sounds Jamaican. Them overcome them. Looking at what's the name?
Oh, hold on, let me turn on the light real quick. Dang, I didn't know I was gonna be talking to Rod Hayes tonight, man.
Yeah, I ain't know I was gonna be talking to you tonight.
Dang.
we both in the learning stages. We learning something right now. Chiefing with the chief.
Yeah. How you doing? You doing all right? Man?
I'm pretty smooth, pretty smooth. What can I help you with, my brother?
Yeah, I was just thinking, because I was just watching Beto video, like it was like this real emphasis on 2027, like what should I do to prepare myself, like physically, spiritually, things like that. Like what should I do to prepare for 2027? Like what's gonna happen these coming years?
2027. Look,
Yeah.
whatever coming by the time 2027 get here, we're gonna be to live through it already. So follow your path, do what you already know you're supposed to be doing, and you're doing about 80% of what you're supposed to be doing. And the preparation is the side effect of being aware. You know, because the more you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you start seeing things that you need to do in advance in order to keep from going through a rocky road. Right? Your instinct's gonna tell you if you believe in yourself, then you gotta believe yourself first. For your personal preparation, because don't nobody develop spiritually at the same pace. Right? So only you know what your pace is, but you don't know what your pace is until you start putting yourself through your paces. That means doing the work. So, like the brother that was just up here, he pulled tarot cards, those training wheels, right? The same way he get accustomed to reading them, when he stopped reading them, he'll be able to go out into the street and he gonna see the king of pentacles and the king of swords and the people that he's talking to. He's just gonna automatically know who they is. It's the training process. So the best thing for you to do is to determine your own level and determine where do you want to go first. Do you want the knowledge of ESP? Then you study ESP. The knowledge of manifestation. Then you study manifestation. You ain't got to try to do it right now. You just need to know what it is, how it works, the mechanics of it. The more you understand it, the more you'll be able to control it when you start to use it. But if you don't never understand it, you can't never find your way. And this is why they gave us religion, to give us a scribbled path to the end, to make sure that we slow down our development as slow as possible pace, because some of us learn too fast and we be called child prodigies because we express everything that's going on. We already one with the universe. It comes through us. They need to arrest the development of that. So they send us to school and tell us to color in the lines. Don't think abstract, think linear.
Yeah.
Don't think in colors, think in black and white. This versus this and that versus that. Another form of divide and conquer, but only it's implanted in your own mind. And this is where you develop your animosities toward people and things that they never did nothing to you in this life.
Yeah. I have another question too. Like, I've
Hmm.
always, like, since I was younger, like, I always felt like this fire inside of me, like a
Hmm.
strong fire. Like, just, I was born I'm an Aries, March 24th. I'm actually like a triplet. So my brothers, they born on the same day as me. And they also tell me about the fire inside of them, but they not spiritual like me. But I feel this fire, and I seen it one time. I seen like a blue and a red flame, or like white and a red flame. But I don't know what, I know what it is. I want to know how to use it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Keep going
identify it.
back, keep looking at it in your mind, asking yourself that question. You got to develop an understanding of the energy. By keep revisiting it, you are re-experiencing it again and again and again and again. The more you re-experience, the more you begin to say, oh, maybe if I do this, I could do something with that. That's putting yourself through your paces right there. Remembering it over and over and over again. What is it? How do I use it? Where did it come from? Right? And then you'll notice there'll be books coming your way, lectures coming your way that you wasn't looking for, because you're going to create a vacuum that's only accepting things related to what you're trying to discover on how to use this energy. And the more you tune into yourself, the more accurate descriptive analysis come in with the messages. And you'll be able to understand things so much clearer. Right? So you training yourself. You your master. And that's what Malachi wanted us all to remember. Right? Because we all got a master in us that's waiting on us to use it. But you can only learn about it by repetition of exercise, the inner works.
What exercises?
What I just gave you. When the thing come to mind and you want to know the solution, you keep examining it. And sooner or later you're gonna forget to examine it. Don't go back to it. It's gonna come back to you with the answer. It's gonna hit you like an aha effect. and say, that's what that meant. Where did that just come from? All of a sudden you understand what it means and how to do it. You have a genie in your subconscious mind that you never use, but you don't know how to access it because it's not commonly taught. The genie in your subconscious mind is the question that you answer for yourself from yourself, and it'll bring the external answer to you, and it'll give you the internal answer. And you can't lie to you. That's why you always settle on the truth.
Dude,
That's putting yourself through your paces.
you know, I understand that. Like I always like was, cause I seen like I watched like probably over like hundreds of videos, man. Like they don't make no sense. But I see like sometimes you read people, sometimes you talk about like astral projection and things like that. Like, cause I'm 21 right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, you got a long ways to go, baby. You finna go through the roller coasters.
yeah,
You in the roller coaster phase of life.
yeah,
But the faster you become wise, the less the dips and the rises disrupt your life. So instead of it being when the dip comes, you go through chaos. It seemed like all hell broke loose, but because you learning your lessons and how to develop, then they be like this. Then it's called the vicissitudes. As you go through the vicissitudes, your learning curve calms your life experience curve. The more you can learn from other people the mistakes, the less you have to go through the experience yourself.
yeah.
That's called a cheat code because we don't know we can learn from other people's experiences, but we can. All we got to do is know how to talk to ourselves while we reading a story or watching the reports. We just go through our mind, you know what I'm saying, and asking how did he feel? What would, you know what I'm saying, what would trigger that? Why did it, you know? And then the more we do that, we experiencing what all he had to go through to come to the conclusion to sell 50 tons of dope, right? We learning from his experience. Now I don't gotta go sell 50 tons of dope. I know now what motivated them and everything. I don't gotta do that. I could use that somewhere else. I could sell 50 tons of hope. It's an upgrade in the system. And when you upgrade yourself, you're in a position to upgrade others. That's called constructive selfishness. You got to teach yourself first.
Okay.
Because the person that don't know nothing can't teach nobody nothing. And that's how humans, all our communication is about learning, the mutual exchange of information. Your emotions is your navigation system. As you go through the gamut of the emotions, it's telling you the directions on your road in your life, right? The more you understand your emotions and what trigger them, and if they in proper context, meaning you already calibrated them, now when you go through the experience, you moving, you know what I'm saying, like silk.
Yeah. I, crazy man. I was just I was literally just watching. It's like I see like a video of you every day on YouTube. I always got to click on it because it just makes sense. You just make a lot of sense to all the questions that I haven't asked anybody else. You know what I'm saying?
hmm You got to
Like,
remember, the only reason is I probably asked myself that question before I ever gave an answer. I done went through it all myself. The experience is the best teacher. I was hard headed, and Mama told me hard head got to learn a hard lesson for the lesson to stick. And the hard head lead to a sore ass. Because you going to get that spanking. Consequence locks in the lesson. The worse the consequence, the harder the lesson locked in.
I just thought of a question because you said like what did you say? Billy Carson was like. I forgot what you said. Billy Carson was something in your past life.
My
Yeah.
big brother.
How do you get to that information? Like
It's
how do
in
you
you
attack?
already. Look, it's when you'll see somebody from your past life, and you'll be like, man, I know this from somewhere. I can't remember where I know it from. But when you go ask, hey man, where I know you from, man? I ain't never seen you in my life. This life. Then sometimes you even get one back, like, man, I don't know, man, but you sure look familiar to me too. You don't know him from this life. He was born in California. You was born in New York. Y'all met in Chicago, and both of y'all just got there 2 days ago for the first time. And you're looking like, I know this mo. So when you start developing your senses, you have a memory, a correlative memory of where you know somebody from. And as soon as I seen Billy the first time, this was years ago. He wasn't even, didn't nobody know who he was when I seen him, and I was like, damn. Why he ain't my big brother this time? Just a curiosity I had. I never thought I was going to end up sitting on a panel with him ever in my life. In this life, because I was working at the plant, minding my business, trying to stay out of everybody's way. Because they told me I ain't had no alphabet, so I can't know what I'm talking about. Right? So I was just staying out the way, but I didn't stop learning. And that's how I came across Billy, because I was still on my learning. That's because you don't want to use my services. That don't mean that I'm not going to try to find out what's my next move. And the king got one more move.
Wow. So when you come to like reading people, like you just see a person, you like recognize their energy. Like you can actually like
It's different. Different people have a different trigger, right? Some people, they energy is so loud, I can hear their ancestors like I hear you talking now, and they'll tell me what to tell them, right? Or some people will trigger me, and I'll see sceneries playing out in my head, and then when I translate the scenery, that's how you will get the readings, right? And sometimes it's a telepathic connection, and they purging from the subconscious, telling me what they need to know consciously to help them in their journey, that they can't get past the barrier of the learned behavior of deliberate ignorance. So then so it's different methods. All this is, every human can do it, but we've been taught it's evil, wicked, and all this stuff, so we won't even practice to try to develop the faculty. I've been doing it since I was a shorty, but my mama told me I had to stop telling people stuff that I see and stuff that I know, because they would persecute me for it.
yeah.
And I ain't know what the hell persecute for. I thought she was telling me they'd prostitute me for it. And I ain't want to be nobody hoe. So I just shut my mouth, But as I got older, and certain people ask me questions, and I feel comfortable enough answering a question, because you can't ask me a question that you're not prepared to receive the answer for, even if it's traumatic when you ask me, when you get the answer. You needed the trauma of the answer to jolt you out of the mental blockage you put yourself in, so that you couldn't get the answer from yourself. You know everything already. You just came into this world through amnesia, and you trying to remember.
Is there anything you sense or like you hear? You talk to me.
Um, yeah, you got a whole lot of learning ahead of you, and you up for the challenge. But most of yours is dealing with you, your inner work. Like, I don't pick up a lot of ancestral background noise around you. That mean that they standing there silent. That mean they watching you, waiting on you to call on the energy that they each represent. They not gonna, you got this. They know you got this. So they don't have to be trying to scream at you like black folks in the movie theater. They know that white lady gonna fall in this because it's every horror movie she hurt her ankle. And we telling her, don't run down that path, girl. He gonna catch her. We know he gonna catch her. We don't gotta scream at the screen. She got this. Sooner or later, they're gonna run into one like Buffy, and she gonna slay that vampire. And we gonna be like, oh, she got it this time. All of them don't hurt the ankle. Some of them fight back and win, right? It's all about the flip.
Like,
You learning to work on you. Don't let nobody stop you from it. Cause once you get cause when you came with it for purpose, once you get to where you understand how you process and you answer your questions that you have for yourself, cause you can't lie to you. Everybody else can lie to you, including me, but you can't lie to you because you have to come up with the lie in your head. So if you ask yourself the question, when the answer come back to you, 9.9 out of 10, it's going to be right. And you're going to know. Believe in yourself, trust in yourself. Everything you see me doing, and when you get my age, because you seen me do it, you're going to exceed that automatic. You can't stop less. You can't be less than that because you already seen what I do.
yeah.
So when you get done developing you how you do, everything I do, it's going to be like a second grade class to you. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now I know my ABCs. That's what it's going to be equivalent to in your learning curve. It's not going to be as effective when you get my age because you're going to be then developed so much more on top of it. And that's why we look for the other people's perspective. Because the more perspectives we can look at a problem, I mean, the more eyes we got on the problem, the easier it is to see the solution because the solution is in the problem. We just got to make sure we ain't the problem. We fixing first. So we always work on the self, defines ourself as the gateway to learning all of the external stuff. It's called the purification of the ego.
I do a lot of things with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like we always together, we're always doing things like as a unit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I like spirituality. It really showed me like me. It showed me myself as an individual. You know what I'm saying? And it helped me. It took a long time for that because I'm the only person like this in my family. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have many people to talk to. So I sit here, I watch lectures, but I didn't really get any growth until I started meditating and I started journaling. I see like that helps the most for me right now.
Yeah. We know what that is? It's you building the mind shaft. You're on your way down there to get the jewels of the self, represented as the chakras, right? Each chakra got a shape. Each jewel is shaped in a certain geometric form, right? But they all inside the circle. And the circle spinning becomes a ball, right? So keep your eye on the ball. Lead with your heart chakra. It's the light in the dark. That's the part of your navigation system that governs your headlights. You look on your dashboard and you see the dashboard come on, and it's like headlights on. That's the navigation part. That's your heart chakra. Spiritual illumination comes through the heart, and it blows one's own mind.
Okay. Dang, man. I do have like, I can really ask you like a million questions right now. You know what I'm saying? Just, I really can't believe I really get to talk to you though. It's really been an honor. You know what I'm saying? I don't really,
Appreciate it, young brother. Appreciate it.
yeah, I talk to like people like you know who Dr. Blood is?
Doctor Who?
Dr. Blood. He made like, you know, the Functionary book? He made like a book. It's like a dictionary, but it's called Functionary. I talked to him.
I don't think I'm familiar with that one. You might be putting me up on game.
Yeah, and Dr. Weitenheimer, I talked to him before. He
Who
was
was
on
he?
Dr. Weitenheimer. He was on Black Magic page. That's where I watch everything at. Oh no, Radio Rich. That's what it's called. No, right, Radio Rich.
Yeah, that's Rich. That's who Rich is. His channel's still Black Magic 363,
Yeah,
but when he's in his seat on Black Magic 363, he's Radiohead Rich because his Radiohead come up with these questions to ask to get the best show out of the people that's present.
I really do. I really do love watching him, but I always make sure I tune into that.
Rich,
That
he a real charismatic, laid back dude, man. And a lot of people don't know he got a big heart, but he a Virgo, man. You can't step on a Virgo heart and don't get smacked. Just not gonna happen. They gonna lash out at you, even if they wrong. Sometimes people be feelings be hurt because they was wrong. With a Virgo, even if they wrong, they gonna smack you back
yeah.
because they trying to get the attention of their guardian, the Scorpio. Remember, a lot of people don't know it used to be Virgo Scorpio was one zodiac,
I didn't know that.
but the inequity between a man and a woman put Libra between Virgo and Scorpio because somebody has to come along and balance the scales, and he's probably got to be a Scorpio.
What's what's the Aries guardian?
Aries,
I know.
Aries is I don't remember right now.
Is it Mars or is it? I was
No,
thinking.
Mars is Mars is Scorpio, Mars and Pluto and Mercury at different times. All three of those rule Scorpio.
That just made me think of like this one thing. You seen the thing of like the thing flying in space, Atlas thing?
Three Eye Atlas.
Yeah, 3-Eye Atlas. What's the like? Cause I can't really wrap my head around it because it don't make sense to me. I feel like it's
Well,
just
first of all, the name is all coded. So many codes that you can extract from that name, Three Eye Atlas. Like mirror flip, it is 13. 13 is the Queen Mother seat. The atlas is what they call, that spinning globe in the room that got the map of the world on it? That's an atlas.
oh yeah, that is Atlas. Yeah.
In mythology, Atlas was the one who held the earth on his shoulders, right? And at one point, he had tricked Sun Wukong into holding it, and Sun Wukong said, "Okay, I'll hold it for you while you go do that task." But when he came back, he was like, "You got it." And then Sun Wukong said, "Yeah, but it was slipping. I had to wait to hold it stable as I could. You could just hold it till I could get." And then he gave it back to him, and then he wouldn't take it back. See, it's all about the mirror flip. in the wisdom and the message. Just when you try to trick the trickster is only the trickster because you can't trick him because he know all of the tricks in the book. So the people that can't trick him get mad and call him the trickster because he know all the tricks in the books, but he's not the one putting the tricks on people. He the one that ain't falling for it.
Like, I just got a picture of my mind and like, so is that like, because people saying like it's a fake alien invasion coming, and I see
Look,
that it's a flip.
they already did the fake alien invasion.
Oh, with the drone.
Operation Bluebeam. If you go back a few years ago, they shot a blue beam up from the White House. That was the signal to activate Operation Bluebeam, right? The United States have craft that do extraterrestrial type shit in several other countries as well. They got the technology from the United States. On the surface, we think that the United States, Russia, and China been at war. They haven't. They have never been at war. Russia was the only country that defended the tribes over here against the tribes of Europe when we was under the attack from all 6 European powers, or 7 of them over there. A lot of people confuse the people of that was under Tsar Nicholas was the last Tsar, but the Romanovs, I think is what their bloodline was called. They were anti-Dirty Moor. And that's why the Russian Revolution, sparked off by Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, was to overthrow the ones who was the Exquisitor. You gotta remember, before Hitler ever rose, Joseph Stalin killed like 40 million people or more. And they want us to worry about some 6,000 Jews that didn't die. Right? And they not Jews, but the people that say they are. The synagogue of Satan. They are the Khazarians, and the Sephardi is the Spanish Jew that came in as hybrids of both bloodlines are hybrids of the concubines that was married to the Moorish ruling class of Europe. Right? So the Tsar Nicholas, you gotta remember, he had thick curly hair. And they whitewashed him in the history books. Because he was about my complexion. Right? And he had been fighting the same war that was going on pre-1492 in Europe as the Europeans, the Great Inquisition, when they was casting out the dirty Moors from Europe. Right? So they needed to hide themselves and follow the edicts of the 18th dynastic priest called Amun and govern from behind the scenes, and you needed a cat's paw. So they used their illegitimate children with concubines that they had kidnapped and raped from the European people that made them rebel. They was eating and raping the babies. So all other tribes of Europe want them gone. They were supposed to have been they civilizers, but they was actually they uncivilized. Right? They the ones that taught them the Babylonian ritual magic of money magic, blood magic, and sex magic, because they was actively using it to oppress all of the tribes of the Europeans, which was the newest people that was supposed to be trained and given a chance to rule with honor and dignity, but because they being controlled by wicked people from behind the scenes, honor and dignity never crossed their reality to this day. So when they kick them out of Europe, they didn't kick all of them out, right? They regrouped. They set up a country called Khazaria for their offspring of illegitimate mulatto offspring. The Spanish Jew was from a different noble line, and they came from Ottomans, Byzantine kings that was amalgamating with Etruscans that came across the Pillars of Hercules from North Africa into Europe and settled in what we call Italy today, Tuscany, right? So we gotta remember, France, Italy, and Spain is all right there together. This is why they call them Romance languages, right? The offshoots of Latin, the Spanish, the French, the Portuguese, the Dutch are all offshoots of Latin. The Romance languages that was used to write legalese. And all of the Latin terminologies was a different linguistic stock from the ones who took the language that became English off Ireland and Scotland was the root to Old English. Then it was passed to what's called the English Highlands. So then it became known as High English, English of the Highlands. And as the language moved down, it developed into a dialect that became referred to as British. And today they call it the Queen's English. O thou, Romeo, wherefore art thou? Right?
Hey,
Old
man,
English.
I,
It's the
I,
history of the world, man. It's all right there. But because they want us to see the narrative in a different formula, they don't want us to ask the questions that ain't nobody else asking, because that's when they get angry. I know, because I asked them questions. They didn't want to give me the answer, so I had to go find books to find out where the answer was at, because I need to tell my people how this stuff is going down. I need to show them where they wrote it at, because they wrote it all down. And the only reason I know they wrote it all down, they say if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the book. So it must be in the books. And that's where I unlocked the secrets at. Because the books is just a log of the records that they kept. But you got to remember, the victories write the history. So now you got to find the ones who didn't write the history, but they wrote about it still in journals, in diaries. And then they pass the information underground channels, because when they die, somebody's going to sell their diary. It's good reading. You got diary collectors. Got all these people diaries of what was going on in their life contemporary with these events, time stamped and dated for personal use. So it ain't in the public domain, but then you can get more insight. This is why they came up with slave narratives written by slaves that wasn't allowed to read or write. Think about that. How in the hell is this slave that ain't allowed to read and write writing this slave narrative, telling us what happened to them when he was a slave? How the hell is he writing about it? And then if he narrating it to somebody to write it for him, who is he talking to that know how to write? His mama? His sister? And they not allowed to learn to read and write either. You gotta remember, we had to fight to get educated. Even when they gave us this thing called the school, right? We didn't get no books. We just got some lady they sent in and said, go teach them history. And she told us the fairy tale about some dude named George Washington with wooden teeth. And that didn't make no sense. So we looking at her like she's a befuddling idiot. This is not how our elders taught us. Who is you people and where you come from? That's what I want to know.
I'm not gonna. That just blew my cap off because that's like you just told me how it all started and where it all came from. Like, that's a lot.
Right. So they know if we tell each other this stuff before time that they coming to kill us. Our ancestors know this. Our elders know this. So they can't tell us outright and direct. So they got to write it in code if they learn how to write. This is how we know the slave narrative written by the slaves is made up. Right? You got a African brought from Africa to America writing a slave narrative about the Middle Passage in perfect English. This one don't make no sense. First of all, he speak an African tongue. He don't speak English. Who taught him how to write English? Unless somebody lying somewhere.
It's a lot of children still get taught that to this day. It's like
The only difference is the children now in this era, when they get out of school, they go fact check what the teacher said on TikTok.
sorry. Yeah, they got AI now.
Then they go back to school to ask the teacher questions about what they learned on TikTok last night about the lesson she taught yesterday. And now she got to tell them the bald-faced truth.
So like think about what you said about Project Bluebeam. So that's already done. I'm
Yeah,
just
the
saying.
alien invasion already happened.
So then
Look,
what's
now if you pay attention, who is ICE rounding up right now? The illegal who?
legal immigrants?
The illegal who?
Aliens, my aliens.
Okay. Now, under the Biden watch, we was invaded by illegal who?
Aliens, right?
All that was after the blue beam went up. This was alien invasion.
Okay.
Okay, that already happened.
So I watched the video. You said like you were saying that everything's gonna go back to gold and silver.
Yeah,
Like,
the standard of currency, the new banking systems.
is it bad that like my brothers, like really, I know like money. It's not. It's the. It doesn't like change a person for the better. It just fuels them, right? So it's like, is it bad that like that we just want to make it out? We just want to make enough money to not to not have my
It's
family
not the
work.
money. That's not. Everybody keep thinking that it's the money. It's the illusion. It's not the money because the money only money because they said poof, it got value now. It ain't the money. It's the condition you want changed. It's the suffering you want lifted that's caused by being in a condition. The condition is easily identified from those who are restricted, poverty, versus those who are liberated, wealth. It's the condition. You don't even care about the money if you live like rich people live. You don't even care about the money no more. If that was your lifestyle and you grew up like that, you know it's not the money you focused on no more. You looking for something else to care about. It's the condition. Poverty is an external representation of the social condition. So when you feel the pangs of poverty, you feel in the restrictions that your emotion about is costing you. And then they pay it back in dollars. The dollar is the illusion. But you remember in past lives, we wasn't poor. We didn't know what poverty was. It wasn't an earth-born reality. They brought it from somewhere else. In Atlanta, Lemuria, and all those pre-Diluvian civilizations, there was no such thing as poverty. Everybody had. There's no reason for anybody to be poor right now. Everybody can have $1 billion right now. The problem is the people that's been oppressed so long that now they're not going to want to contribute once they get the wealth. So they're going to have to give them hoops to jump through to get their wealth. Right? You got to work this long, and when you get this age, then all your money released. Trust fund babies. They got to have a trust fund timeline to redeem their personal wealth. But the good thing is somebody already then went ahead of them and redeemed theirs that can help them out until they earn theirs. But you ain't going to need no help. Ain't going to be no McDonald's. Ain't going to be no Burger King, no Pizza Hut. All that stuff going to be gone because you're going to have to get the food from the family farm. Ain't going to be no grocery stores. If your family is fortunate enough to have a cannery, right, where y'all can put food in cans, then y'all got canned goods. Otherwise, you're going to have to go to Big Mama house a couple times a month or a year, depending on how y'all, the distance and how y'all lay it out, to get something live and have it prepared for you to cook at home. One of your uncles back there going to do it. He just going to do it because that's what he do for the family. And then you take it home, give it to the old lady, here, go, Big Mama said, cook that for us. Whatever the situation might be. But a lot of this stuff had to go because it's destructive to the character of sentient people, of human beings, so to speak. So it's going to have to be done away with. And it's going to look like the whole other civilization is collapsing. You're just shaving off the fat. It ain't collapsing. It's just that the new civilization that we ushering in is rising up, leaner. So when our fat fall off, we going to see it. We don't need that. The educational system don't work for us. It prepare us to go to prison or work in the factory. It don't prepare us for real life. It don't prepare us to how to make the family functional with 250 people living in a small in area in a village, in the little family village. It don't teach you those kind of skills. We need to get back to the ground, back to the earth, back to who we are, and we can still develop technology. You don't have to sacrifice the development of technical advancements in order for people to live a holistic life. But we got to get back to those social building exercises that facilitate that. Because we've been taught to tear each other down. So we tear each other down. And then we don't feel no way bad about it because that's what we was taught to do. So that's what we doing.
It's looking like a lot of people gonna have to go before anything really changes.
So it's gonna be a lot of people gone, and it's a lot of people that we think is still here. They ain't here no more. It's a lot of people missing, and we just don't know they missing yet. It's not as many people available as it was 5 years ago. Believe that.
You know that. In times like this, I just start to think like, what can I do to the best of my ability, just to help
Yeah.
the people around.
You know what you can do. Know your skill set. Your skill set gonna tell you what to do because you know how to do it already. Because what's coming, you ain't got time to prepare to do something different. Because if you do, you're gonna miss it. You got to use what you got and then build on it.
I wanted to ask you like, what's your relationship with Big Mom? Like, how does that work? And like, how do you, how do you do that?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you? Cause I'll be honest. Sometimes I'll go into meditation. I'll speak to her. I'll speak to that energy, and sometimes I would like, I wouldn't hear anything. You know what I'm saying? So I know I wouldn't be doing anything wrong necessarily, but I would just like to hear something. You know what I'm saying?
That you was using your mind but not your heart. Yeah, remember, our connection with Prime Creator comes through the heart chakra, right? Our connection with the environment, it comes through the back of the brain and the black dot. That's our connection to the physical world. And when we make the black dot ignite the pineal and we connect the heart chakra, that's when you experience your awakening. Big Mama talk to you, but it sounds like your mama talking to you in your head. So you think that it's just a memory that you having from your mama. But that's the voice you use because that's the first unconditional love you ever experienced on earth was your mama.
That's crazy.
So if you use your mama voice first, when she come in her voice is you'll know somebody like that, right? That your mama look up to. And that's the when she come in her voice of your big mama, she gonna come in that voice. But right now, she gonna first talk to you in your mama voice because of the unconditional love connection.
I heard my mom's voice. She's not even there, so like, I know that's for a fact right there.
Yeah. A lot of people be like, I can't get my mama head out, my voice out my head. There's big mama is using your mama because that's your unconditional love connection to Prime Creator. So she talked to you in your mama voice.
No, Rod. One day, like I always want to. I'm just smoking with you one day.
For sure, man. That's
One
what it
day,
is.
one
Look,
day. I remember.
we gonna have the powwow. We gonna have the chief classes and chiefess classes. We don't know that the women was the chiefs first, because that's how they're the ones who made us chiefs. You gotta remember, it's take a God maker to make you a god.
Yeah.
Hail
Yeah.
Mary, Mother of God. What that make her?
I always felt like women are so powerful. It's just, especially like a black woman, like just a melanated woman. They just don't know. Some of them just don't know. And but
Yeah, a lot of these women of all ethnicities, if they knew their true power, they would move through their life entirely different.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna let somebody else come up because it's pretty
I
soon
appreciate
they gonna
it,
cut me off.
man.
For sure, for sure.
All right, you have a good night, man.
Yep. You too. Lord of my vices. Come on up, Chief with the Chief.
Hold on, man. Right, hey,
Hey, hey, hey.
my brother, hey. Hold on, I'm about to walk out there. I'm in this GM. But hey, bro, I got some questions, Brody. Cause we know about this Department of War, this Department of War shit they talking about, right?
Yep.
So like, and then we know they ain't pardoning them, but they commuted Larry Hoover. So then they
Yeah,
try to
so
say,
he
right,
still had to deal with it with his state issues, but his federal issues, he got time served on that.
right,
They
right,
do
right. So
that instead of giving him a pardon because if they pardon him, he can see he's in the position to turn around and sue him because he didn't do nothing.
right,
Literally, he
mm-hmm.
didn't do nothing, and they locked him up. So they commuted. So it's just, they ain't saying that the guilty plea overturned. They're saying they're gonna give him time served, and then he got to go back and deal with the state.
Right. My question is because right when they did that, they tried to put these statements out saying he told on it. They try to diminish the names of our leaders and shit. So I'm like, they trying to say that, but then that's the
There
CIA
is no
working. But my thing,
history. There is no history of Larry Hoover telling on nobody at no time under no conditions.
right? Because the same nigga that said that he told on him, he said he ain't tell on him.
No, they were saying Larry told on the dude that shot him, but the
Right,
dude that
right.
shot him said Larry ain't told nothing on him.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
my,
that's you got to take it from the people that went through the experience before you take it for the people who thinking they can read it from a distance.
right. So my question is like, is he gonna give a statement to the public? Because that's what we waiting on. We waiting on what he got to say. Been locked up so long. Is because when we look on the
Whatever he do, he got to first spend his time with his family first. So even if he got out right now, that it might not even be announced for months while he's spending time with his family. And then he do have to give a report to the people because we need to. He is the lead chief that has
right,
to tell people about the conditions, the war that was waged against us as tribes, and how they did him. He got to tell his own story. And so we ain't got to take it from secondhand people. He'd be done told us exactly what happened.
hmm do you
See,
think?
the whole thing when he first went to prison, the law that he went to prison on was repealed off the books in Illinois. And the law said that if you was a person to influence and somebody under your influence committed an act, that you didn't have to give the order, that your influence was sufficient enough for them to carry out the act. That's what they convicted him of, but being influential in his community, literally. And they blamed the dude that committed the actual crime. He got paroled in the 90s, like 91, 92, after like 20 something years. Larry was still in there. Larry was in there for being influential. He wasn't in there for the underlying murder. They saying his
Mm-hmm.
influence was sufficient enough over the individual that if he committed a crime, Larry was guilty of influence.
Right,
That
right,
that law in Illinois has been took off the books now. And so it's
right,
not even so right now today they can't use that same law to convict nobody.
right. And it's for reasons because it's like chiefs like you that we know got a voice. When they speak, it's gonna move the people. So they got to keep
Yeah.
him silenced at all times. It's like, but my thing is, do you think that Trump doing that? had something to do with them sweeping the land in Chicago? Because you know they gonna try to get them YNs out the way, man. Anything moving out there that think they finna go against the government, they gonna get wiped out. So it's like it's best,
It's
like
not
you
the
said. I
government
heard
no
you say,
more. So this is what you're looking at. The old government called the United States of America, based in D.C., is gone. It's not even called Washington, D.C. anymore. It's called District of America, renamed under the military intelligence. They had to rename it first to
mm-hmm,
reclaim it, right? So when that happens, the changing of the guard gets closer. They have to get rid of police because they foreign military and we in a police state and we don't know it. So they're gonna bring in National Guard before they get rid of the police, right? When they bring the National Guard in, then the officers gonna either be deputized by a sheriff or they gonna have to be militarized by the National Guard. But most of them is gonna be rejected because the profile requirements for them to hire police is sociopathic in nature, and they're not gonna allow a lot of the people that's practicing law enforcement now to even be qualified to practice.
mm, yeah.
Right. So a lot of changes is like real close.
Yeah, because
Right.
I heard you say you told the mothers, man, get y'all kids out the street because it's about to get ugly, man.
Yeah,
They,
tell
so
them,
they,
tell them don't play with them people. They told to treat us like we family, but they also told them take no shit.
yeah,
So they
yeah,
gonna they gonna be smooth, but if you go out there, trying to threaten them with your switches, you gonna see what a real switch look like. I'm just
nah,
keeping it 100.
nah, for real, nah. But do you think that has a connection with like the war that we facing on that land? Like, do they have a certain microscope on Chicago to where, all right, we move Larry Hoover around, and now we about to run in there and try to do they sweep? Is it some type of like? Is it a reason why it's that land in particular?
It's not just Chicago. This gonna happen in multiple cities across the land. They have to
Mm,
secure certain what we call them. They call them um, prime military target zones. The reason to send the National Guard in is not had nothing to do with the reason they telling you. They don't care nothing about stopping crime. They don't have nothing to do with that. It's securing the land so that a foreign force can't have sleeper cells invading us while the power structure is shifted. That's what it's about.
mm, mm. So you think they gonna let Jeff Ford get a voice too? You think they gonna move him around?
They
Angel
gonna
Bay?
yeah, Angel Bay gonna have they sooner or later they gonna have to let him go too. But first we have to see Larry is the spearhead because once the people get to hear and see what's going on with Larry, that's gonna make them demand all of these political prisoners brought to the forefront. And Angel Bay is the law of Turtle Island. He's the one who was supposed to be enforcing the law. This is why when you're in Chicago, you always hear them say Stones run it. Cause
Mm-hmm.
that's the law enforcement, the Red House law enforcement, them mama's boys and they don't play. And a lot of people misconstrue that part of the tribal structure with a whole lot of other stuff. But he is the chief that was supposed to be responsible for the military governing of the people on the land. He was supposed to be our Shaka Zulu. That's why they got
Mm,
rid of him.
mm.
Larry is the ambassador, the spokesperson, the chairman of the board.
Chairman of the
He's
board, right?
he's the one responsible for telling the people how we was in this mess, how we overcome this mess. As the chairman of the board, you're the spokesman for all of the tribes,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
And Larry,
we all know who he is. But remember, we classify in their system